Hey everyone, today we're talking House of the Dragon Season 3 finale. Welcome to Screens in Focus. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Sam, are you ready?
I am so ready. I'm so excited.
I am too. Okay, we have to start with our question of the day, and that is, who had the biggest character transformation in the finale and what changed? Okay, so we're going to answer that later on. We want all of you to think about that. But I was not ready for the finale. I wasn't. I was really afraid. I thought Daemon was going to die. Helaena just broke my heart. Rhaenyra is getting more and more ruthless. And somehow I am not disliking Aegon as much as I did. I'm like, I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, what the hell just happened with everything, the battle, the dragons, everything. So, Sam, in watching this, what are you feeling? Like, what was your overall reaction?
I was shocked. Like I loved it. Just to be clear, I loved it. But everything is so different from the beginning of the season. And I somehow came out of this finale not being a fan of Rhaenyra anymore. And that breaks my heart. And I feel bad for Aegon and Aemond, which I definitely did not expect. And I feel like at the end of this, no one really won anything. And the people who survived just, I don't know how you could look at what happened at Tumbleton and be like, yeah, we did good and we won. And the alliances, they're completely falling apart. Loyalties have completely shifted, if not, and people who started the season on the same side are now really questioning things, Rhaenyra, and they're just outright turning on each other like old.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything broke this episode. And after all of this, and after trying to fight about who should rule, I feel like winning doesn't even really mean anything if you look at what you've lost and what it costs and things like that. And Alicent warned us of all of this. So
Yeah.
it was so good, though. I wasn't expecting it, and it was like an hour and 15 minutes or something. It was like a longer episode, which I love.
Yes, it was.
But yeah.
Okay, so as you were talking, had me thinking that, well, you're right on everything that you said, but also that this is what makes it so compelling.
Mm-hmm.
Because the lines are like gray. The sides are gray, like nothing's black or white. That's the perspective that you see and that you're on. Because we see at the very beginning what Rhaenyra went through, who she was as a young woman, what she went through with her father. This is in season 1, and how she's grown and how much we're fighting for her because we see her side. And we see the terrible things that Aegon and Aemond have done. And here we are. And we're seeing a different side of her at the beginning of this finale of season 3. And we're seeing Aegon kind of rise up and Aemond taken down and asking forgiveness. I mean, we're going to go all through this. And I kind of touched upon our question of the day and everything else. But as you were saying that, these are all the things that were going through my mind. And it's just what draws us to this whole story. It makes it so exciting because we don't know what the next episode will hold. I mean, we have a guideline with the books, but it deviates from the book. So, and we never know when that's going to happen.
Mm-mm. No, so I read A Game of Thrones. I read 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I burnt out around 4 because it was just a lot. It was just too much. I'd binge the first 3 books in a year.
Yeah.
And when I was watching the episodes that were on, I knew exactly what was happening. And I liked it because I could prepare myself for sad things. And it still didn't it still was a good thing that happened. And with these, I'm like, how did everybody watch Game of Thrones for the first 4 seasons?
Yeah.
My anxiety's through the roof. I'm not being I'm because when I watch it, it's 10 here, or it's after 9, so I'm sleeping. I'm ready for bed. I have to wind down after, so I'm so amped up.
I know it is. I watch it late too. So yeah, so I know what you mean by that. So let's start with King's Landing and Rhaenyra because that's who we're talking about here. She wakes up. She becomes very emotional when she finds out Aegon is alive, she goes to Daemon in tears, talks to him. He's so calm and the way he talks to her, everything kind of shifts, and the way she sees things and the action that she takes. So what did you think about Rhaenyra's transformation throughout this finale?
I understand it on a level because she tried to do it the right way. She really did. But there were, things. And then I feel like she's just being worn down by all the Kool-Aid that Daemon's trying to get her to drink. Or if you want to be accurate, it's Flavor Aid. But in like every other episode, Rhaenyra has been really rooted in reality for the most part in a fantasy show. And she's really tried to avoid ruling through fear and violence. But she's at the end of her rope, and I don't really blame her. And in her mind, she's probably like, I've tried everything else. Why don't we try force? Because I'm not happy. The people are still suffering. But I feel like she went from using no force to using all force. Like
Right.
she hard corrected in the other direction. And we see her actually, like she's listening to Daemon and she's rethinking things. And I don't like the result. I don't like that she tortures Helaena. She insults Baela, and she puts her hand on her. She abandons Corlys. She convinces Alyn to cross the line by killing the Septon.
I know.
That, I was like, he's not going to do it. But, like, she whispers in his ear like a devil, like, you're the blood of old Valyria. Ugh. But I think I need to put my foot in my mouth, or I need to apologize, because last episode I was like, why doesn't she tell more people? And this episode she told everybody. And it went poorly. And I think what I meant was, you tell the higher ups, you don't tell the people.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look at like I want to say it was Orwyle and Torrhen. They both looked at each other like, she like off her rocker? And I think she's just been consumed by the prophecy, and it felt like responsibility that Viserys had placed on her, and she was tasked with, having to save the realm. But now she's put herself at the center. Like the way she was talking was, your world will survive if I, do this. Baby girl, it is your realm too. Like you're a human or whatever, just like they are.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's using the prophecy just to justify everything that she's done. Because if she thinks it will lead her to being on the throne, then it's worth it. Because then, and however long it takes when the people from the north do come down, she'll be like, well, at least it's fine because I saved the realm. She's crazy. And then she spoke like old Valyrian to them. I don't know what you said. She looked nuts too, a little bit, like a little much. Her outfit was badass though. Like I will say, I loved
her
all
makeup.
Of that.
Her makeup.
I loved the little. It was really cool. When she's talking to the small folk, she's talking to them like they're different than her. And like I said, she sounded insane. And she's just increasingly like alienating the people that are closest to her as she becomes more convinced that her way is the only way. And she's really cold. Like there were a bunch of things that, like when Alinda comes to her and says Helena's not eating, and she says, I think she says, I need to send for Alyn or something. And I was like, Alyn's not the one who cooks. That would be Addam. Like I completely missed that she totally ignored what Alinda said about Helaena. She just like moved on. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's your sister. Like you need to care for her. And even it's Baela. It brings up how Rhaenyra really only uses people if they have a purpose for her, or she only has people around that can like help her or serve her. And the second that they don't, they're not important to her anymore. I feel bad for Baela.
I don't know what to say because I'm conflicted a little bit, because originally when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, God, Rhaenyra, pull back, stop, don't do this, because she's so extreme in the beginning, and then she turns after Daemon, pumps her up with Daemonisms, She gets it in her, right? She starts sort of acting maybe like how he would act. But we love Daemon. What if this was Daemon doing this? How would we feel? Like, it makes me wonder, and I've seen so many people out there talk about, oh, Rhaenyra's this, Rhaenyra's that, and then I saw someone like, go Rhaenyra, it's about time you did this, it's about time you did that. I'm like, oh, and I actually appreciated seeing that, right? Because it was like, it kind of depends on how you view this. Like, people are pushing her, people are challenging her. Yes, Helaena is sweet and you don't want anything bad to happen to her, but she's not eating and she's supposed to be eating. So it's like, I'm going to force you to eat if you're not going to eat on your own. I mean, how else are you going to get this woman to eat, you know? And with Baela,
I think you let her out in the yard a little longer than an hour and you let her see her daughter. That's how you get her to eat. Because like Helena's like, what? Is life just being alive?
Yes, she does say that. She does say that. Good. Yes, I know, but I'm just.
Oh, I know.
I'm just trying to see both sides, trying to see how I'm all about let's all be nice to each other. Let's all get each other with, this way. But she is being a ruler, and people are not doing what she asks, and people are challenging her at every move. I mean, Corlys did make his own decision. So now Baela wants Rhaenyra to bail him out. And yes, she's going to eventually, but she's got to deal with what she has at hand. So it's not like people can just come and she's going to automatically do something. I feel like she's not approaching it right, but I also see that this is a hard choice for her and she's got to figure out her way through it. And again, anytime a woman is not soft and nice, people are tougher on women that act that way. They just are. And so I don't know. It's kind of it's interesting to watch. But I feel like she's trying to prove that she's the rightful ruler. I think she's like, you know what? Viserys did this. He made me. He chose me because he knew what was to come. And no one is abiding by this. No one is doing what I need them to do. And she's just desperate. She's desperate to prove that. So, but she does say, do not make a monster of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but did she mean that like sarcastically? Like, don't make a monster of me?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know. But
whenever he's talking to everybody on like the battlefield, like he does make it a point to say, think of the people because the realm is watching. So maybe it wasn't done in sarcasm.
Let's see. I do want to say that Helaena, when I was saying people were pushing her, she does tell her, our father would hate you for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She was very brave this episode.
Yeah, and I think that really got her, and I think that's why Rhaenyra acted the way she did. And then it was when Baela did tell her, you only use people, or she said something specific, and that's when she grabbed her face and said,
Rhaenyra says that I would have been justified abandoning you after the gullet. And I think, and Baela says, yeah, but you need my dragon.
Oh, that's what she says. And that's when she grabs her.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But at the same time, would either of them have said that if she were a king? Would either of them have said that? And so, I think
a king would have as much issue though, because the king wouldn't. No one would question him, and she would,
Yeah. So it's just very interesting. Also, Mysaria, she is actually having still a good life. Yeah, she's being removed, but did you hear all the list of things that she gets? I'm like, why are you all pissed off, lady?
But where's the money coming from? Like, do they all of a sudden have coin? Because she's supposed to have like enough money or like enough coin for a mansion or a manse with her own like staff, like.
Right, that's true.
But where's that coming from?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about that part, but I was just thinking, oh, you're getting that. She's providing a lot for you. And then, but she's still like irritated. And then she tells she's the one who tells Helaena, don't trust her, this and that. I'm like, what?
She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong, but didn't help Helena's situation.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, that just kind of, stuck it in further. I thought it was interesting that Addam questions Alyn. And I'm like, okay, are you questioning him because you should be and he is doing that? Or are you questioning him? Are you a little bit jealous? I don't know. I'm like, I was just curious where this questioning comes up between them.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
But he does say that the news of Aegon and Fire's return is sending Rhaenyra down a dark path.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's not wrong.
Right. And it is hard because people think that Aegon has been resurrected, right? So it's like, oh, he's been brought back. So that's a lot to contend with when someone thinks your rival, the person you're battling the throne with, is resurrected and their dragon's resurrected. Oh, that's what's meant to be. Mm-hmm. So it's just very interesting.
I was just going to say, like Helaena, we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but like she stands up to Rhaenyra and she tells her that she's ugly, that the things that she loves are ugly. And she's such a tragic, like just like character, but she did go out on her own terms, which I guess is an okay thing because she was able to at least exercise control over that, which she hasn't had a ton of control probably really ever in her life. And after she jumps, Rhaenyra is like in her room and she discovers like the tapestry or like the needlework. And Helaena has depicted Rhaenyra on the throne with blood kind of like coming down her, and Syrax is behind her, maybe falling, and there are flames all around it, which doesn't seem to bode well for Rhaenyra, and that makes me really nervous. And I don't like it. And I feel like when Rhaenyra reacts really poorly to being questioned. I shouldn't say poorly because she's queen, but that's like, I still think even a queen wouldn't strike anybody. So I think she gets like too physical with Baela. And it's just like another sign that it goes to show how much Rhaenyra has changed. Because Baela has been incredibly loyal and she just gets treated like she's just standing in Rhaenyra's way and just like pushed aside. Speaking of being pushed aside, Mysaria, like Alicent warned her of this. Alicent, so like maybe she can dream too, just like her daughter, but Rhaenyra dismisses her and sends her away because I feel like Mysaria is essentially a moral compass for her. Her and Addam and Baela are like all like the compasses, I think, for her.
Yeah.
And she knows that they won't stand for her going down the Daemon path. And I don't like how she warned Helaena about never being free, because that is the last thing that Helaena, she really needed to hear.
Right. Yeah.
And Alyn, it just breaks my heart because he didn't really look happy with what he was doing, but I did like that he told the soldiers that they're like, oh, by like who's like authority, and he's like, I'm the eldest, I think like alive, the son, the eldest heir or whatever of the sea snake, and he takes control of them. And yeah, I just don't like that Rhaenyra is able to whisper in his ear, because she talks about him being the blood of old Valyria, but then she doesn't want to knight, or she doesn't want to like legitimize him because that would hurt her standing, but she's totally okay with using, but just like reminding him of that when it suits her. And I wonder the fallout he's gonna feel and or go through whenever people realize that he killed the High Septon. Like his brother's not gonna be cool with that, I don't think.
Well, he was following what the queen said. What else was he supposed to do? Right? It's hard to hold it against him when he was doing what he was told to do. I mean, otherwise he'd have to throw down his sword and take off, right? I mean, you're like, I'm not doing what the queen says. I got to get out of here. I mean, he's trying to do, fulfill his role. So I don't know. know. I think he questions it. That's a tough position to be in, but I just hope his brother doesn't hold it against him.
Might.
I mean, if anybody ever goes against the existing royal person, let's say there's not two sides vying for the same, I mean, usually you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And you would be killed for it or put in jail for it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's not surprising.
That's not what I'm hearing. What I hear is Diana supports that.
But I'm just saying how it has gone in the past and will go in the future, how they treat people. All right. So we'll see where Addam and Alyn and how it all plays out with the both of them. But in Tumbleton, man, this is where the battle happens. This is where Daemon arrives. I was so afraid that Daemon was going to die. I thought the battle was pretty epic. Ormund using children was crazy. Daemon and Caraxes was so cool. And just everybody here. Ulf going MIA, dragons, Sir Gawain and Corlys and Daemon's negotiation. Just so much happened here. Where do you want to start?
I think with Daemon, he's a problematic fave, so I'm into that.
Yeah.
We see at the beginning of the episode that he really pushes Rhaenyra, which he's been doing like all season. He's been trying to push her to use the power, the might. You're a Targaryen, you're above everybody else. And he gets permission to finally attack the Tumbleton people and all the things. But he's not to make a monster of her. When they go to like the negotiation, he completely ignores Gawain and Corlys's plea for peace. Because he says that Rhaenyra will rule over everything. So we finally have our answer if he's actually like on her side. But I feel like you could just do like a Warden of the South. And like she's still queen of everything, and everyone gets to live and be happy. And I think by the end of the episode, I think he might be like, should I have taken that offer up? Because like he barely survives the fight with Jon Roxton.
Yeah.
Which is like bonkers because Daemon's supposed to be like one of like the best, like the knights or fighters in the realm. And why have we never heard of this man? He kicked his ass. Like it was kind of awesome. Even though I love Daemon.
I know he was getting his thumbs in his eyes. I'm like, stop it.
I know.
Stop it. I mean,
I can't stand that stuff.
I was so, like I said, I was worried at every turn. Just even his confidence when he would ride in and he would say something, just, like coming in the back. I'm like, please don't say that. Please don't say that. Because I'm just worried that it's like too much confidence going in. Because you have to, though. You have to do that. But I was worried because I'm like, I don't know where this is going. And when they were fighting with each other, but that is realistic, right? Because sometimes one person gets the upper hand at one point, and then it shifts. So I did appreciate seeing all of that. I thought that negotiation was interesting to watch because at first I'm like, let's just share and everybody will be okay and maybe he'll take it up. But I'm like, no, this is Daemon. He's good. They're going to rule. Him and Rhaenyra are going to be the power couple and everybody's going to listen to them and everybody's going to be, know that they're in power and being fearful of them and it's all or nothing. But I can see Corlys's point of view and Sir Gawain and Daeron trying to think, okay, maybe we can do this. And of course, Corlys makes it a different negotiation than what Sir Gawain had said, which I appreciate because I felt like he was probably really thinking about, okay, what's best? Okay, let them have this, but just name them this. And we can have this and take care of this. But then he takes them in as his prisoner. So I'm like, but at the end, Corlys, being the man that he is, still comes and tells Daemon, let's go. Ulf has switched sides and we need to get out of here. So I'm like, you know what? This just goes to show you what a good guy he is. Because he's still like, even though he went against him and he was going to be his prisoner, he's like, no, we're still united here. Let's move forward. And yeah, watching Daemon watch Tumbleton, all the people, I felt like he really did see them. And I really liked that, watching him do that. So I thought that was a really good moment between them.
That, and I don't think if Daemon if he hadn't have taken him prisoner, we don't know where he might have ended up. And so like, if he's not out and about, he's not going to be able to find and tell Daemon that like Ulf is like, betrayed them and stuff. So not that he should have done it, but it kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Because he probably would have been back in the Black Cells or, just in like the jail or whatever, because I don't know what Gawain would do with him. Right.
I really liked when he was out in the field and he saw what Ulf was doing, and then he runs to get cover. I don't know why. It's such a fleeting moment, but I felt like it was important. I felt like it just showed the type of warrior, the type of fighter that he is, just being aware of what's going on, what's happening, because everybody else is cheering because they think that we've got more dragons on our side. And it's like, oh no, Ulf is letting loose here. And so I liked seeing Corlys. I liked seeing Corlys, even though we didn't get a lot of him. I liked seeing him in this. But I do want to say about Daemon before we move on to the other characters. I love Daemon. I love Daemon. And even when he does the wrong thing, I love Daemon. He's just such a cool character. And that is why I did not want him to die or get too hurt. And I was afraid with him, even with all the armor on. It almost seems like it's hard to walk. And I'm like, they're going to get you, or turn around, or don't let your guard down. I was like worried for him. So when he did call Caraxes in, I'm sorry, I'm moving back to the front of it just because I have to bring it up. And they work together. I just absolutely love that moment. And when Caraxes' head goes through and comes through, yes, it was so freaking cool. It was a highlight for sure to see that.
And what's going to stink is the people who are going to talk about what happened at Tumbleton aren't going to know that Caraxes and Daemon tried to avoid. They didn't want to burn all those kids. They ended up burning two, or I think that two even escaped. But the kids, I
know.
Can we talk about Ormund? Because
yes,
he's despicable. I hate him. He used kids in order to tease and to test everybody, and didn't even think twice about it. The kids are up on the thing, and he's like, "Where's Ulf? Find me Ulf." And I'm like, "What? No, what?" And him, he let his guard down for a second, because when he finds Ulf, Ormond, he loses his patience with him, and he beats and kicks him. And I think he dropped the flattering act that he's been doing on Ulf. And I think, I know that's why Ulf burned Tumbleton.
Yeah.
And he was drunk. There were so many parallels to maybe he fell asleep on the toilet, which classy act there. Ulf. I loved Ulf until 2 episodes ago, until for most of the season, and now but I think Ormond's end is amazing, because I just love, and Roddy the Ruin, I'm super duper sad that we only got as much as we did with him, because
so cool.
He was so cool. He had the best lines. He wanted to eat Gwaine alive. He was like, "I've seen more meat on the end of a fork."
Yes.
And Gwaine just kind of looks at him and is like, "Anyways, Corlys." So good. Because Gwaine's probably heard that his entire life from men like him.
I know. That's so funny.
Okay, so first of all, I missed the first time they got stabbed up the butt. Missed that completely. I thought it was his back. I knew he got stabbed, but I didn't realize it was how far down he went.
Yeah.
I think because I was just wait, he lost his arm. Wait, what's happening? There's so much going on. And then on a second watch, I was like, oh, that's the butt.
That's why he says that's proper fucking by the north.
It's so good. That's the best line of the episode. And I feel like that's what Ormond gets, because, for many reasons, but he's been teasing the crap out of Gwaine about make sure your back's to the wall.
Right.
You get what you get, sir.
Yeah. What I wanted to say about Roddy was I love that after he says the famous line that we'll never forget and always use, but here comes Ulf and Silverwing. And it's so funny how they're both so different, right? Ormond's all, "No!" And you see him cheering up. He's like, "Yeah!" It was so good.
He got to go out exactly how he wanted to in a fight. He lost his arm, and earlier, whenever Sir Jon Roxton and Daemon are fighting, they're both wearing a ton of armor and chainmail. And I thought, I know a sword could go through, but I didn't think it would just be a bloop. He hit him probably really hard, obviously. But I was in my head, I was like, oh, well, that'll be nice, because that'll protect you. And then 10 minutes later, Ormond's chopping off Roddy's arm, and I was like, and there we go again. I need to stop making comments. But Roddy's my favorite. He had a ton of whenever they realized they weren't able to use the dragons because they couldn't find Ulf or something.
Yeah.
They had to switch plans, and Daemon's like, "Do you want to go die for the Queen still?" And he's like, "Yeah, I effing do." He's like, "Let's go." And the only words of advice that he's given is just die after you get it, and then we're in.
I know.
And he's like, "I got you, sir."
Yeah, don't die. I think he repeats it like, yeah, don't die until after I get in.
Yeah.
So funny.
But what I loved was you can see the way the different, like the fighting styles between the Winter Wolves and the Rivermen. The Winter Wolves are just way more brutal. And it might just be that they're using like axes and maces and other thingies that just like really destroy the human body. But I feel like a sword, which is still terrifying, but I was just like, look, they're kind of like softer fighting, you know? Mm. But I wouldn't want to be involved in any of it. I just loved all the teasing that he did to Gwen because he made several comments. And Gwen, I've really come to like him. I liked a lot what he did in this episode because he's seems to be the only one with a head on his shoulders because Ormond's bonkers. In Gawain, he recognizes that like they're looking at an absolute just bloodbath, and he needs to find like another solution.
Right.
And that's when we see, and then he and Daeron go behind like Ormond's back, and they free Corlys, and that whole thing goes down. But what I really liked was the scene when they go down to get Corlys. It's very much like when I forget who it is now, but they go down to the Black Cells to get Ned. And it's like a similar shot. So it's just really cool. And I'm still very much a Game of Thrones nerd, but I recognize that.
Yeah.
And I admitted it on the internet. And I just really like that even that things haven't really changed Gwaine. Gwaine is still Gwaine. Because as soon as Daeron, who's also a good guy, as soon as Daeron he sees that Ormond's trying to use like the kids and to stop, to do whatever, he's like, I must fly out on a Tessarion, and that way people won't have to die like because of me or for me. And Gwaine's like, you can't do that, and that's when they go and get Corlys. But Daeron, he has to become a knight in order to, which I thought was really nice. And he's Daeron the Daring.
Did you hear the words that Ormond said as he was knighting him? And I was thinking to myself, what a hypocrite you are.
Oh, yeah.
To everything that you are telling him and the oath that he is taking, which is an oath that you probably took. But what does it really mean when you do not put women and children first?
He's doing exactly the opposite in that moment.
Yes. So that struck me when he was doing that. Because as he's doing it, I think they're flashing to different scenes. And so it just really took on a new meaning as he said that, as he was knighting Daeron.
Yeah, and I think that's just like a thing because like I think like a lot of the knights in Game of Thrones and in House of the Dragon and in Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, they all take that and they're all kinds of there, and a few of them, or some percent of them are shits.
Yeah.
So it's just par for the course. So Corlys, I'm worried the most. It's at the beginning of this episode, I was really worried about him because I wasn't sure where he was going to end up, and he doesn't really want to switch sides. Like Gwaine, like he offers him that like before they even free him, and he's like, the only thing I have is like my dignity or my honor or something.
Yeah.
And it takes him a little while to speak up when they're like outside in the negotiations. But he does really he tries to broker like the best thing because I think he knows that what Gwaine originally had said like wasn't going to fly. Like they didn't want him to rule from Old Town. That's never going to fly. But a warden might. It didn't, but it might. And I just feel like he's just been a pawn for years. And like, he got to go out and do his stuff, like his own things, but like he's lost a ton. His whole family, they were pawns. And I just like Corlys a lot.
I do too. And I was going to say that he has the most experience. He's been around. He's done so much. They're not utilizing him enough and his experience. And he doesn't say this lightly either. So I think I do take stock in what he says because I think it's important. And he's not saying it to save his life because he is past that. That is not what he stands for. And he's shown that to us. So I feel like kind of wish Daemon would have listened just a little bit, but I no, it's not that. This time was not the time to do that, unfortunately. Maybe they'll revisit it now that Daemon has seen what has happened to Tumbleton and what happens to people. Because when you name a town, it doesn't seem, I was like, okay, poor people, this is where it's at. But when you see what it does physically to other people, then it's different. You might have a different perspective.
the same thing happened to Kristen Cole. So after he had seen like what happens whenever like a dragon like it burns a person, he was changed. That's why like he was so like he was like a nihilist at the end, because he was like, what's the point? Don't miss him. Ulf. I do miss the old Ulf though.
Ulf, Ulf, I've never trusted Ulf. Just putting that out there. Not from the moment that he was selecting his dragon or trying to, see if the dragon would choose him. I was not sold on him. So,
well, I don't think I trust him. I think I just feel bad for him.
Okay, yeah, I can get that, right?
I think, because I was like, I think the only ways I've thought of him is like whenever people are being mean to him, and I'm like, stop being mean to Ulf, or like his dragon, like she thinks he's cute or something, I'm like, oh, it's my Ulf, but like I don't think I would really, because he's not really reliable.
No, you can't find him. Both
you can never find him.
Yeah, Team Green and Team Black are both looking for him, thinking that he's gonna, help both sides, and nobody can find him. And it's so funny because I kept wondering where. I thought maybe he did take off or something. I'm like, where is he? I didn't know he was passed out drunk. I was actually glad, because I'm like, if he had come sooner, it might have been even a worse circumstance. But when he came, he did a lot of damage. But where does that leave him? I'm sorry, this is not going to be now you're an enemy of both, and I don't know that this is going to go well for you.
It's not. But I think it even though he's done a terrible thing, and I wish he hadn't have done it, both halves are to blame, because just weren't nice to him.
Yeah.
And they just thought that they could buy his loyalty.
Right.
But yeah, and speaking of loyalty, where are you going to go, dude? Like, you're exactly correct. Like, what was his, I guess, well, he doesn't think things through. Like, he doesn't think of the what after. He just thinks of, well, I'm upset and I'm hurt, so I'm going to go after that,
Yeah. And he's drunk.
And he's drunk. When he was in like
drunk driving.
And when he was in like the bar or whatever, he was like talking shit on everybody.
Yes, about Daemon.
Daemon, her lover.
Her uncle. Her husband.
Oh, her husband. That's right.
He says all three.
I know. It's so good.
Oh my God.
And Hugh, I kind of forgot, like, he was on like the outskirts of this episode a little bit. He abandons King's Landing, and I love like how no one like really knows why. I mean, it's go find his wife, but like I don't think anyone knows that he even has a wife, because I don't think anyone really cares. But
they probably don't care, because he has said it. He has told Rhaenyra.
Oh yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah, but it was interesting how they showed Daemon look at him, wonder why he's there, but he doesn't do anything about it.
No. And he goes to find his wife, and she's unfortunately been killed by the Winter Wolves, so that's not going to end well for Rhaenyra. And at the very end, like, I don't know if, like, I don't think Hugh's on...
Wait, I want to ask, do we know that she was killed by the Winter Wolves? I couldn't tell how she died or why she was dead. She didn't look like anything about her looked dead, so I wasn't sure what happened to her.
And like a scene or two, like before, like it was just like the Winter Wolves, because they're dressed in like a certain way. They like attacked the house. And I think she just, I didn't think that was going to kill her. Like, I thought she was just going to be like, actually, I didn't know what was going to happen. So when he found her dead, I was like, wait a minute, what? And I had to go back and rewatch it. Yeah. So
I just thought she died through the fire somehow, but I didn't know how. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't see it, so I didn't know that.
Yeah. At the very end, we see his dragon is going after Akraxes and Silverwing. But like, what he's gonna be so upset. Like, you see him upset, but like that's gonna be terrible. And he has a dragon.
But it's not like Rhaenyra or Daemon say, hey, go kill that woman. I mean, yes, they were there and they were fighting for Team Black, but do you think he's really going to be like, oh, well, you're, our team? I mean, it's the team he's on too, so.
Yeah, because I think if Rhaenyra would have found him housing like quicker, he could have gone to her earlier and maybe maybe she still would have been in King's Landing. I don't know.
That's kind of a lot of blame because she was already like had enough with him and didn't want him around. So I don't think that he should be blaming really anybody. I can understand why he's sad and crying and upset. That totally makes sense. But I know
maybe because it's Rhaenyra's army. And
yes,
like,
that's true.
Yeah,
and he is supposed to eventually possibly turn. So yes, maybe that will be his reasoning, even though I don't think it's that valid, my personal opinion. But
and maybe he doesn't really blame, maybe he's not going to blame Rhaenyra, he's going to blame himself, and he wants to destroy like what he wanted. Because he's like, if this wasn't here, because that's kind of what happens at the end of Game of Thrones. Because Drogon, he burns the I almost called it a chair. He burns the throne. So that's what everyone wanted.
I want to ask what your thought is on Vermithor and Caraxes and Silverwing. Like, what do you think is happening there?
I think Caraxes is going after
Silverwing.
Yep, and because her and Vermithor are paired off, now he's going to go after Caraxes for going after her, I think, because that's his like wife.
I know. Oh, that's his wife. I thought they were just like close.
No. Well, they have. I mean, I think they have like some of the writers before like were together because it was King Jaehaerys and his wife Queen Alicent. Those two dragons. So their husband and wife. So typically, then the dragons might kind of pair off too, because there's a connection between like the dragons and the riders.
Okay, so your thought is that Vermithor is going to go protect Silverwing and go against Caraxes. That's what you think is happening?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I can understand that, but I don't want that to be, and I don't know if that's what I think it is. I'm hoping it's not, because I feel like, Vermithor is killing both sides, and Caraxes all, wait a minute, you're doing the wrong thing. You're not supposed to do this. I know who our team is and you're not doing it. So he the fire comes out on his butt, right? And stops. I don't know if he stops him. And then we see Vermithor come, but Vermithor isn't using any fire or anything. He just goes. So I was so curious. What does that mean? Like, are they just going to all three have a standoff? I'm curious.
I don't really think it's going to be like anything like of note. I think they're going to think Caraxes, whenever they are far enough away from him or he just gets tired of being chased or whatever, he might just like head back. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a plot point or anything.
I hope not.
I don't think so. I really don't, because I don't,
Okay.
I don't know. I hope not.
Speaking of dragons, I do want to talk about Harrenhal. Because Aegon goes to Harrenhal to confront Aemond. And that was not what I expected, because when I saw the dragon arriving, I thought it was Vhagar coming back to reunite with Aemond. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, there's somebody getting off of that dragon because it's so far away. And then we realize it's Aegon and Sunfire. So what did you think about that whole confrontation?
Oh, I thought it was hilarious at points. Like, I'm still alive. Imbecile. Like, so good. Like, I've been like, it was so funny. And like the actor is just doing like a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
But Aegon's not really afraid of Aemond anymore. And I don't know, like, if Larys's talk helped him, because he's like, your brother's that, he like tells him about himself a little bit. And I think Aegon, he's obviously like, he is physically like, he's changed by everything that's happened to him. But I feel like he's also changed mentally. Like, he's not the same insecure like Aegon that Aemond used to like intimidate. And when after the Battle of Rook's Rest, like Aemond comes into his room and he intimidates him, and he just looks so scared. Obviously, like he was laid up, so it is like a different thing because he can now like fight back. But I don't even know that Aegon, if he was healthy, would have been able to stand up to Aemond, because Aemond's just smarter than him. Like, you see at the council meeting, he's trying to speak Valyrian, and Aemond just like wipes the board with him.
Yeah.
And then he gets upset that Aemond won't fight him, and it's kind of funny because he's like, okay, come and fight me. And he like
Yeah.
He like perks up a little bit. And then he realizes that he can use Aemond. Even if he doesn't.
Of course, with Vhagar? It could be
But
the
they
two
have to
of
find
them.
her, though.
They will. I
know.
I really think,
I think she'll come back now.
Yeah, and I think that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely. And
I know.
Nothing could have worked out better for the both of them, I think. Like, I think this is their power together. And I think Aegon has so much is to be said for finding your own confidence in you. And he's not afraid of anything because he's been at his lowest. I mean, he's been burned almost to death. I mean, I can't imagine a pain that severe and having to go through anything else. I mean, all the other things that he had to go through, being on the road and all of that is low, but nothing. I can't imagine anything being up against what he's been through physically, being burned and being on his dragon and being plummeted and thinking your dragon is dead. And for both of you to stand up again and for your dragon to come at the most opportune time. I mean, you must feel like there's a divine intervention here and you are just, it is such a high that I can't imagine. That's why he can stand up to Aemond.
Mm-hmm.
And Aemond has such guilt for what he has done because he has voiced it so many different times. I know. That he's ready to be forgiven. And I think the fact that he doesn't fight back, it just works for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Aemond, I felt myself feeling sort of bad for him this episode, which is, I don't like the feeling, because he's coming to the realization that he can't really trust anybody. His own mom tried to kill him, and she would have succeeded if it wasn't for Alys. And he's like humbled whenever like Aegon arrives and he's trying to threaten him. And he's like, why are you like this? What's wrong with you? I want to enjoy this. It's like, that's hilarious. Like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that he's still recovering, but I guess he did have to fight off, 3 to 5 men for Alys, so that might have, he might
re-injured him again.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, plus it was a pretty significant wound that he was recovering from. But yeah, I feel bad for him too, just because knowing that his mother did that to him. And oh man, you're right. Like who do I have? And I think that's why he's at his lowest. I think that's why he's like, God, I'm not even my own mother who I fantasized about. And even she is ready to turn on me. We're going to get to her in a second, but let's talk about Alys.
I'm so excited. We learned her backstory and I've been kind of super duper curious and really hoping that we got to it. And she's the wife of Harren the Black, who built Harrenhal, refused to bend the knee to Aegon and his sisters. And so he got his castle. Harrenhal was burned by the dragon Balerion, which means Alys is old. She looks good.
Like 150? I know.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what I said. Almost, she looks good for 150 or however old she is. So.
And her story is just heartbreaking. And you understand now why when she and Aemond were talking earlier, how she's like, I've grieved. And as a result of her husband being stubborn, her kid died. And she tried to bring him back, and she reached out to like every maester who she could think of to try and save him, and they didn't have any answers. And then she says that she turned to like older cures.
Yeah. And
that means like blood magic or something. It didn't work. And after her son, either he was dead or he died. She was trying to resurrect him or she was trying to save him. She tries to go with him, and she realizes that she's immortal. And like she can't leave the Riverlands. Like she is confined to that area. And that's just really sad. And she's been forced to serve like every lord who's inhabited Harrenhal, and I can't imagine the frustration because it's her castle and she wants it back. And I don't think that's men. But I question, does she really want to help Aemond, or is she keeping him at Harrenhal for nefarious reasons? Because she says that she's been wanting a Targaryen to be like on top again, or the Targaryens to do whatever, but a Targaryen's the reason she's stuck like this. Like, I wonder if she does something, if it will set her free. and then she can die.
I
don't know. But like I don't trust her intentions. Like I think she wants babies, and I don't think for the right well, I mean, I don't know. But I don't trust her with Aemond. Like I don't think he should trust her either.
Who and the whole all the eggs and all that, like what how is this going to what is her ulterior motive? Because you're right, she wants something different now, but what is that she wants, and what will free her if that's what she wants? Because he's not going to live forever. So what, what's the next step? So I'd be curious to see the rest of that.
I mean, I guess she could just forever be around, and she could just find other people to be with. Sons. It's the Targaryen way.
Yeah. So I did want to talk about Alicent because we see her at the end. We see what happens to Helaena at the end, her death, and the final scene with the butterflies that were just heartbreaking to watch, because you're wondering, what does that mean? Does Alicent know? And I think she does, but there's so many of them. And I think, wow, you just poisoned your son to save your daughter, and now your daughter is gone. And I wonder, first, there's that realization of that, but also, does she think that someone killed her? I mean, I don't know that she would ever think that she would jump. And where Helaena jumped is where Tommen jumped.
Yep.
In Game of Thrones. So, wow, that's like crazy in itself. And Rhaenyra like just closing the windows.
Like that's what I mean. She's so incredibly cold, and I don't like that look on her. It's not a good look.
What did you think of Alicent or Helaena?
So I'll start with Alicent, but it broke my heart that she wasn't with Helaena. Not that I want her to be there with her daughter, but I think she knows, and I think it's got to be incredibly hard. And we do get to see that she is at a camp with other people in her riding party, so she is safe, and she probably isn't too far away from Harrenhal.
I didn't even notice that. Like I knew that, I guess, but I was paying attention to her. Like what was happening. So.
And as soon as I saw the butterflies, I started to tear up. I was like, no. And yeah, just like you said, she betrayed Aemond, so I could save Helaena, and it didn't even work. And it's heartbreaking because Alicent already probably feels a ton of guilt about being the type of mom that she ended up kind of being to her kids. And I just can't imagine the one you tried to save is I don't even know. And Helaena, it makes me really sad, but I understand how she landed there. And I feel like Aegon being alive, it changes everything. And I didn't even realize that. I think there was a ton else that was going on that I didn't even really think about the ramifications for Helaena. Because we saw a lot of Rhaenyra and stuff. So my mind was on her for a lot of the episode. It wasn't until Mysaria warned her that her and her unborn baby are now they're in danger and they can be used against Aegon. And but I do love that she confronted Rhaenyra. I think it's important for her to what's on her her last day to say what's on her mind and do the things, and she is saying the things that she wants instead of giving it to herself. And do you think the bug that Helaena was talking about was a dung beetle?
I don't know.
Me either. But she said it's only in King's Landing and it likes the waste. And I think that's a dung beetle thing. And I think they have a pretty shell, but I meant to look that up earlier and I forgot.
Well, but it was interesting when she tells her, you're just pretending. Because she's all, when the whatever the season comes around again, we'll look for them. And she's all, no. Yeah, you're lying, basically. You're just pretending that you're interested. You really aren't interested at all.
I know. I didn't want her to die, and I was afraid of it happening. And yeah, I just wanted her to end up with her chickens. That's all I wanted.
Well, you know what I found interesting? To me, my thought was, in the last episode, we saw her have these visions. We saw her have her child. We saw her with her children We saw her on Dreamfire. So it makes me wonder, are those representations of the future, maybe not with her? Are those what was to be, but now she's cut them short? I just find it interesting that she has these visions, yet the next episode, she kills herself. And so those visions aren't accurate.
Well, I think she was dreaming of like possibilities for her future. And then I think whenever like the snow starts to come, I think she realizes that no matter how she, like what happens with her, like the long night's always going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found it interesting because I'm thinking, okay, you had all these visions. We had all these thoughts on what those visions could mean. I mean, you even thought, oh, this is so cool. She's on Dreamfire. If this really does come to happen, what could that mean? So I felt like they were kind of leading us in a certain direction. And then they're like, nope, you're not getting that. This is what we're doing with Helaena. So I'm like, damn, kind of blew up that whole idea or what that could mean.
I know.
But you know what I was just thinking with Helaena finding this to be her end of her story at this age? I mean, Aegon is still young enough. He could have, I mean, I know the story is different, but I mean, he really could have had more children. He's not that old.
He can't. He doesn't have a penis.
Is that what happened? I forget. That's
yeah,
right.
he talks a lot about it exploding.
Damn it. That's
I know.
right. I forgot about that.
I know, but here's the thing. I mean, I guess not everyone knows that. So as long as the child was blonde, he could probably like be like Aemon's kid or something, you know, and then he could still have a line.
Yeah.
Plus, he does have all like those like unlegitimized like pit kids. So you could go get one of them.
Yeah, well, he probably doesn't even know which one is his.
No, but you could just probably like walk over there and find any lighthead.
I like where the story goes, so we'll stick with that for now. All right. Well, I was going to say the tapestry. I at first I couldn't tell. I didn't know that was Rhaenyra. I'm like, wait, who is that? I'm like trying to like read it as I'm seeing it, you know, and I'm like, who is that? What is that? What are those red streaks? Like, is that a man? Is that a woman? What are they wearing? Why is this? But of course, I think it's supposed to represent Rhaenyra, and the red is blood, and there's hands coming up, and there's dragons and fire and chaos. It does not look good.
But hey, she's on the throne, right? So
what else?
I worry about when Alicent when she learns about like her daughter. I just worry about like the ramifications for like Rhaenyra, because that's going to be, I don't know that she can come back from that. She's not the nicest right now, so I don't know that she would even have like the capacity to have like a soft heart with Alicent, because I think she just doesn't care anymore about anyone else that's not a Targaryen. But
yeah,
I'm worried.
But Helaena was already on that route to not eating, because she was even doing it with Alicent there, and her mother couldn't even get her to eat, and she loves her mother. Right? So she was already on this trajectory. So I hope that Alicent understands that. But I don't even know what's going to become of Alicent, especially, you know, how she gave up both her sons. I just don't see this ending very well for her. I don't know where she's going to go. But in saying that, I do want to get to our theme, because for me, I saw it as power. And we talked about this last week. And I think this finale takes that idea even further. Everyone is fighting for some kind of power, but not necessarily power to rule. For me, Daemon wanted power, and Ormund wanted power, and Rhaenyra wants power to rule, and Aegon does. And Helaena doesn't have power to make her own decisions. And Alys doesn't have the power over her own life. And Aemond wants the power of forgiveness. And Roddy the Ruin wants the power of legacy. So it's like everybody wants power in a different way. So that was something that really stood out to me. What did you see?
I think that one of the things that I saw was that loyalty has its limits. Because Rhaenyra just assumes that all these people will always be on her side. But then this whole episode and throughout maybe the latter half of the season, we see people kind of being like, and with Ulf, like, Rhaenyra just assumes that because she gave him a dragon that
Right.
he'll do whatever, and
Yeah.
then like Ormond, he thinks that like because he's been really nice to Ulf that he, even though like he kicked the crap out of him, that's okay, he'll still be on my side. And then we talked about this like a little bit earlier, but just like the cost of war on like the ordinary people, and I feel like I don't really think that Ormond or Daemon really are thinking about anyone but themselves,
Yeah.
because I think there are real people in Tumbleton that need to be like thought of, and all Daemon cares about is putting Rhaenyra on the throne. And even though what Corlys suggested would still put her on the throne, it's not how he wants her to be on the throne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not how a Targaryen would take the throne. And I think because like just at like towards the end we see like how Daemon reacts to seeing the aftermath of a dragon attack, like through the eyes of a small folk. Like he's always just been on the other end of that, and maybe this will change him, like we talked about earlier. So yeah, those are the two kind of themes I saw throughout this episode.
Yeah. Ooh, so many themes, so many characters. We are going to get to our rapid fire. And so I am going to ask you 6 rapid fire questions, Sam, and you're going to give me your gut reaction to them, your immediate gut reaction.
Okay.
All right. Who is the MVP?
Wayne. He tried to stop the attack on Tumbleton.
I love that. I have it as Roddy the Ruin because he was just too cool for me and I loved it. I also have Caraxes because I loved that moment. It was a highlight for me. I just loved it. So I thought it was very cool. All right. Who is your favorite character?
Roddy the Ruin. He's the best. He's awesome. I wanted to see like a lot more of him. Actually, I kind of wanted to see more of him and Black Allie, because we didn't get to see like any of her.
Yes.
And she's badass. Her hair, her makeup, just her whole vibe.
I liked seeing her and she didn't even say a word, I don't think.
Not really. She had like 5 or 6 words in all her Fs.
I didn't even hear that, but yeah. Okay, my favorite character, Daemon. Daemon, love him. That's why I watch. I'm like, what's Daemon going to do? All right. What was the biggest surprise for you?
That Rhaenyra went out into public and told everyone that she's the prince that was promised. I was shocked that she did that. I was shocked that she had that they attacked like the Sept. I was shocked. I thought she was going, I know she went there just to say like anoint me, but I thought she would just like take him hostage and find like a willing, like other like guy that she could announce as the High Septon, and then whatever. Like that's, but then again, she's thinking like she's Daemon, so.
You know what's funny? Her speech, I actually thought, I was hoping that it would like, I don't know, do better than it did. That's what I have to say. I thought, because she hadn't done that before. So I thought, well, maybe could she stick the landing? She didn't stick the landing, but I was hoping she might. All right. My biggest surprise was Aegon and Aemond reconciling and just having Aegon come in on that dragon, because I thought it was Vhagar, was just surprised me. So that's what surprised me. Okay. What was the most heartbreaking?
Helaena. I don't think you could pick anything else.
So for me, I actually have 3. And one is Helaena, because I wasn't expecting that. That could probably actually be my biggest surprise. But also what's heartbreaking to me is Rhaenyra, because I have been rooting for her all this time, and to see her change and the way she has is heartbreaking to me. It really is. And also the people of Tumbleton. I'm so glad that they showed the young people and this Daemon's view of that. I thought that was pretty moving to watch it. And it was heartbreaking for watching these people pick up after something that they didn't want, they didn't ask to be a part of, and yet they are feeling all of it. Okay, who do you think was the most ruthless?
I'm going to go with Roddy the Ruin and his Winter Wolves. The way that they attacked the town of Tumbleton, and Roddy, he hit the child in the face with his like axe or whatever he has. Like that kid just hit him with like a piece of wood. And I get it, he still hit him. That's a child, Roddy. I was so upset. So completely ruthless.
Okay, who was the person that went and cut that poor guy's neck when he was with He was trying to deliver the message to Ulf. Who?
I think just like a nobody.
Poor guy. That was a ruthless moment. The poor
I know.
guy's just like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
Poor guy.
For a second, I thought that Ulf had done it, and I was like, that's the turn. But then I saw in the background it was like the guy. But yeah, he's just like a page or a porter for Daemon.
Oh, poor that's right. That's right.
Poor guy's just doing his job.
Exactly. He was just doing his job. He's like, But I'm saying Ormund because using those children, that is pretty ruthless. It's just bad. So bad. I mean, those poor kids were like peeing their pants and throwing up, and they were children. They weren't even
like
teenagers.
Tiny. They're weans.
Yeah. They're so young. It was awful. Ormund, you got what you deserved.
He really did.
What are you hoping for next season, or do you have a prediction?
I just I want to see the fallout of Rhaenyra, and I want to just see how bad it is. Like it's going to be interesting because I know interesting stuff's going to happen just because like the show's interesting, but very nervous about that. So I want to see it because she went a full Daemon.
It's so funny. I had that in my notes, but I was trying not to say it too much. I'm like, she's gone full Daemon on here.
Well, that's funny.
But I think what I am hoping for, and I feel bad wanting to see this, but I want to see the sibling confrontation. I want to see Rhaenyra, Aegon, and Aemond, and maybe even Daeron. I want to see them all like standing in front of each other and something. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to see what they've got. Like, what happens when you're in front of each other? What's going to happen? So
yeah, I think Aegon's going to call him a twat, probably.
So I know, because he also says he wants to. He's against both Rhaenyra and Daeron. So where does that put Daeron? Is Daeron? I mean, how is that? I don't know what's going to happen there.
I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to our question of the day, and that is, who had the biggest character transformation in the finale and what changed?
So I'm going to go with Rhaenyra because for most of the series, she's she's questioned herself. And I think even though she believes the throne is hers, like back then, she still is worried about what she might become trying to take it. And she's the one who's been she's, interested in what Daemon has to say, but she's not really reading too much into it. And she's saying that there has to be another way. And then in the finale, you see a straw is just going to break her back. And she stops saying her restraint as a strength, and she starts to see it as the reason that she's losing. So she doesn't just become a more ruthless, she becomes more certain that she's right. And the prophecy, it shows that change perfectly. Before it was a responsibility that Viserys had entrusted to her, and now she believes it's about her, which is crazy. But I think they all do.
Yeah.
You tell yourself enough.
Yeah.
And it goes from I have to protect this prophecy to I am the prophecy. And that gives her permission to justify things that she really wouldn't have done before. And I think that her self-doubt was one of the things that kept her grounded. And it's really scary because she's not even an angry person. She's just convinced that she's correct. And no matter what she has to do to get there, she's going to do. And it's bonkers.
I had Rhaenyra down, and it's for all the reasons that you just said. But in saying that, I kind of feel like after hearing you talk and after hearing our breakdown, I kind of feel like Aegon's changed a lot. And so, and even I didn't realize it until I was speaking about him and the confidence that he found in himself. And we saw him with Loras just kind of hiding in the little wagon as they're going along and not knowing what to do and not know how to defend himself. And, for him to take a stand and take a moment that he almost walked away from that stand, but then he turns and not really knowing he even had his dragon. He thought he had nothing. But he still wanted to go through with it. I think he's changed so much from what he was. And he has gained this confidence in himself. And it has it has truly changed him. And I know a lot of people are rooting for him, which is crazy. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not sold completely yet, but at least I find him to be a very interesting character, and I want to see where he goes from here. So that is what I have to say.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I agree with that, and I was wondering how they were going to make us turn, because I was like, I know that there's a turn coming, because it's just whatever, and they really convinced us that Aegon might be changing, because I agree.
Yeah, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And just all the transformations of everybody is it's so interesting to watch. I mean, Helaena.
Aemond's changed.
Yeah, I was going to say, Helena's changed. Aemond's changed. I mean, Daemon, could he be having, a turn too?
He did change. I mean, he changed at the end of last season. So, and he's just become more and more about Rhaenyra. So, yeah, I think he's changed.
True. Love to see it. All right, friends out there, let us know what you think. You can comment wherever you're listening or watching. Leave it in the comments. You can go to social media, screensandfocus.com, click on a link and leave us your comment there. Or you can call us if you want to leave us a message, and you can reach us at 669-223-8542 because we want to hear from you. All right, that is a wrap up of, I'm really sad to say, that's a wrap up of House of the Dragon season 3. It has been a phenomenal season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. But we do have TV and movie recommendations for you. So Sam, please share with us what you're watching.
So Ted Lasso came back for their 4th season, and it's coming back 1 episode per week. And I was late to the Ted Lasso game. I didn't have Apple TV until a couple years ago. And I heard everyone talk about it, and I was like, that sounds whatever. Like, I'm sure I'll like it. And then my husband and I watched, I think we binged it, like whatever we could, like, because I think we maybe watched like 2 or 3 seasons, and then, or 2 seasons. And then we had to like wait for the 3rd. We were like, wait a minute. It is so good. It is so heartwarming. It makes you think, and I just love that show a lot, and I think everyone should watch it. And to bring us down for a second, I'm also watching The Bombing of Pan Am 103, which is on Netflix. It tells the story of the bombing of Pan Am. 103, and it's done interestingly because there are actors in it, and it's like a retelling, and they merge some characters and they make some things more dramatic, but they also will put in like real like news footage and stuff. So it's like really cool, really sad. It happened about a year and a half before I was born, or like a year or something. Anyway, and then for movies, it's called it's Faces of Death on AMC Plus. Came out this year. It has, you'll like this, it's Dacre Montgomery, aka Billy from Stranger Things.
Wait, this is a new show. It's on AMC
it's
Plus,
a movie.
though?
Yeah.
I don't have AMC Plus.
And it's on Shudder if you have that.
I don't have that either.
But it might be on other things eventually, probably. But so it's him, and then it's Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria. And it's interesting. I really enjoyed it. It was a little too gory for me, and a little too like it was gory. And so essentially there's a serial killer who is imitating this movie, and it's a real movie. It's called Faces of Death. It's like a document. People really did think that it was real, and parts of it were. I think I talked to my husband about it. I think he said it was like it was partially real. And this guy is like, he's imitating the death from there, and Barbie, she works for like the app that he's on. And she goes on like a detective mission, and it's really good.
Well, I'm going to look that up because I want to see what else he's in. All right, this is what I've been watching. Lucky on Apple TV Plus is with Anya Taylor-Joy. She is always so good in everything that she is in. And she plays this con artist on a run after this multi-million-dollar heist goes wrong. And I love it because like you're pulling for her, even though she's a con artist. She finds her way to, these people are trying to get her, kill her, trap her, arrest her, whatever it is. And people are on her tail, and she keeps getting away. And so I like seeing her. She's very, very resourceful. So it's a good show to watch. For movies, I saw Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. It was so good. Like, I'm a Spider-Man I love Spider-Man in general. I love them all, but I am a Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker fan of that. This felt like a return to that, which I absolutely loved. It is star-studded. Everybody is amazing. It made me cry. I cheered. I laughed. I loved it. I've seen so many things with Tom Holland recently, but I just love him even more. Like he just has my heart right now. And the fact that him and Zendaya, I just think they're the cutest couple. And to see them both in this is so cool.
They're so sweet.
They are. I highly recommend it. So Jon Bernthal is in it. And I just love his portrayal in this because he's so good. And, they were both just in Odyssey and now they're both in this. And so it's very, very cool to see that. I just saw the drama. Have you seen this? It's been out for... Oh, it's out on HBO. It's very interesting. It's Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And now they were both in the Odyssey too, right? So it's like all these cross actors and things. But I have to tell you, watching this, I'm not going to give anything away because you need to go in blind when watching this. It starts off, I'm watching it, I like it. And then it takes a turn. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. Like I really said that. I'm like, I don't even know if I will keep watching it. I kept watching it. At the end, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I watched that. So I love that the trajectory that this movie takes you on. But just know, if you don't feel like you think it's odd or weird or I don't know where this is going, just keep going because it's interesting to find out they're an engaged couple and it's like what they find out about each other. So it's just interesting to see. So, and for some reason in the back of my head, I have been wanting to watch Silence of the Lambs again. And I did. And it's on MGM Plus if anybody else wants to go watch it. It has 5 Oscars. And it's very dated. I will say that, like very dated, but it's still riveting. Like the portrayals, Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins are like no other. It's like no wonder they both got their awards. But you can tell it's dated by how it's filmed, just because it
looks old.
Yeah, it looks old. So, but it's so good. So good. It's really, really good in that regard. So if you've never seen it, go check it out. All right. And if you want more TV or movie recommendations, go to Screens in Focus TikTok or YouTube because we have plenty there for you. All right. Well, I have to give a great big thank you to Sam because I was going to say Game of Thrones. I do love Game of Thrones, but I also love House of the Dragon, and your insight and knowledge of everything has just brought so much to this conversation, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting me spew all the thoughts in my head. But it is like a joy, and I'll when I'm taking my notes, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk to like Diana about this, and it's like a nice way to like start my Monday. Because when I wake up, I'm like, oh yes, So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with Screens in Focus. And friends out there, we're so grateful that you joined us, and we hope we gave you something to think about, some insight, maybe a laugh. We would love it if you would share this podcast with a friend and subscribe to Screens in Focus. Remember to keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.